Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I'll be hooking my man up with a taper fade. He had been letting his hair grow out. I thought he was going to get it twisted or possibly braided, but he changed his mind and just wanted to, change his look back, go back to rocking his waves. So I told him, okay, say no more. So I'm just getting started, just combing his hair out. And we're going to take it down to a 1.5. And that's what I'm starting with right here with my Andy Supras. I have the 1.5 blade on, attachable blade, and I'm just going with the grain. Anytime you have a client with, a pretty decent amount of hair, you want to make sure that you're following the growth pattern. And you may have to hit it in multiple angles, as you see what I'm doing. I just realized I didn't show you guys the blade, so there we have a 1.5. And like I said, he does have waves. It's just he's been growing his hair out for the past 3 months, so his hair is it has to be retrained to lay back down. So once he starts to brush his hair, wear a do-rag or a stocking cap, his waves will return. Just taking my time and making sure I'm following this growth pattern. A few of his hairs are not laying down, so I'm hitting in multiple angles, still using the 1.5. I'm only applying minimum pressure. And the video is sped up, so I'm really moving, not like slow like a turtle or a tortoise, but I was moving at a steady pace. Now I'm switching to my 000. This will be the bald guideline, and I'm going. He did not want a C cup. He wanted it faded, so I just started at underneath his vertical bar box to the top of his ear, and at the bottom, I used the bottom for reference points. I used the bottom half of his ears, and I just make my line symmetrical going from ear to ear. So a better way to explain that, if you're standing behind your client, I went up 2 inches on the nape of his neck. Now I'm switching to my number 1 blade. Going up 1 inch, using light pressure, using my corners. As I come left, I use the left corner. As I move right, I use the right corner of the blade. Switching back to my 1.5. And this is just really to debulk top line. I'm not going up too far, because as I'm going against the grain with this blade, this will cut it down to a mixture of a 1A and a number 1. So again, light pressure, and only went up an inch. Because now I'm going against the grain. All right. Number 2, this will be the biggest guard I use. Now I can use medium to maximum pressure, and I'm just blending in all of the top area into that 1.5. Now I'm going with the grain, just trying to get to lay down when he brushes his hair so he can see that fade. All right, now I'm coming back with the 1.5, just doing some detailing. As you can see, still using the corners. Now I'm about to begin fading down. So I used the number 2, now I'm using the 1.5. And after this one, I'm going to use the 1A blade. See, 1A blade. Using the corners. And the whole purpose of using the corner is just so you won't accidentally lift your fade or remove too much hair. So that's the purpose of using the corner. Number 1 blade. And as I'm switching blades, I'm moderately moving lower towards his ear, towards that 000 blade that I put in, that first initial guideline, 0A. Now I'm gonna put that one right on that bottom guideline, because now I'm trying to slowly erase that line and fade it away. And that's just really a easy method to follow. First, I set in my guidelines, and then I just begin the fading down process. Now this is where I started with the 000, remember? And that's where I'm going to finish with. So just think of it, you start, and then you finish with the same blade. Now I'm switching to my adjustables. I have the lever is all the way open. Just doing a little bit more detailing. And I'm using my Babyliss Gold FX clippers with the taper blade on. Still saw a little demarcation, and I put on my number 1 guard. Now I'm about to close it. Going with the grain. All right, now we're switching to the back. Lever is all the way open. And I tried to zoom in just to make up for that left side. So I'll be pretty close back here. So remember, I put the first initial guideline in with the 000. Then I came back with this, back here I'm not gonna use blades, I'm just gonna use adjustables, I'm sorry. So the lever was open. I went up maybe 2 inches. And now I'm just gonna down fade. So the highest guard I'll use back here is the 1.5. And I'm just gonna keep debulking. So I'm gonna start open, and then I'm gonna slowly close that lever. go. Now I'm going with the grain. Now, you may notice in my hand I'm using a brush. Normally I don't use brushes, but because his hair was so long, had I used a comb, it just wasn't going to lay it down. It's going to keep it too straight. Now I have my number 1, and I always start with the lever open. So combs, they lift the hair off the scalp, and when you brush it, it just brushes it down on the scalp. So I used a brush. It's a brand new brush. I'm gonna clean it after I get through with them, or I might just throw it in the trash and go purchase another one. But that was my reason for using the brush, because his hair was just too straight and I needed it to lay down. Now I'm closing the lever, going with the grain. Now I'm going against the grain. Like I said, it may look like I'm using the full blade. I'm using the corners. That's the wall half guard. I've been using this one more than the Babyliss because it seems like it just blends better. And it removes the line left by the number 1 guard a lot better than the Babyliss half guard. Now I'm closing it. So I'll try to show you guys. I use so many different techniques. It really just depends on the haircut, the time of day, if I'm running ahead, if I'm running behind. So really back here, I only use 2 guidelines. Now I'm just detailing. So the first guideline, which of course you didn't get to see, I used the ball guideline, the 000s. And after that, I came with my adjustable all the way open. That was the second one. And from there, I just faded down. And now I'm just going back, detailing. So 2 guidelines back here on this side. And the purpose of, of my videos, of course, is to teach, but I'm also trying to make sure that I'm not going too long with the videos, because even myself, I do like to stay updated on the latest haircut styles and trends, and I'm not going to sit through a 20-30 minute YouTube video. So if I'm not going to sit through that, I'm not going to make my subscribers or people just watching sit through one either. So that's why I only showed the one side. So the right side, I basically still did the same steps, except I only did the 2 guideline method. So I'll drop another video in the future where I show you how to just put in 2 guidelines and just basically down blend or fade down. I'm just edging them up, make sure everything nice and symmetrical. On the vertical lines, I'm just making sure that that line is pretty much parallel to the corner of his eyebrow or his eyelid. And as far as the top, the main line, you just start in the center, start with your client's nose and work your way left and right and just connect the 2 lines. And that's how you prevent pushing your client back. Now he wanted a little freestyle part design. I wanted to keep it simple, nothing too wild and crazy. So I'm putting in a nice little curved line. Just in the camera, just making sure that it's visible. So when I initially put it in, my main focus was the top line. And as I go in and just do my cleanups, I focus on the bottom line, because every part has two lines, a top and a bottom. Now I'm working on his vertical slants. Because he has a nice full line edge up, it's easy to put his slants in. I didn't have to use a comb and try to create him one. Now I'm using the Toon 45 enhancement. He doesn't need it, but you know, like I said, if my client wants it, I'm giving it to him. Who am I to deny him from enhancing his haircut? All it's gonna do is make his edge up pop. Shout out to the Toon 45 squad. This is an excellent product. And now I'm just lining up the no drip enhancement. That's another reason I like the Toon 45 version better than the Kiss. Notice I don't have any gloves on. I didn't get any dye on my fingers or on my nails. I've used the Kiss. It's cool, but that stuff, it drips out and it splatters everywhere. And you definitely have to wear gloves, because once it gets on your fingers or your nails, it's going to be on there for a minute. Well, there is the finished product. I appreciate everybody watching this video. Hopefully you learned something. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And I plan on coming back with more. This is Junior. Peace.